Hey guys, today I'm going to be unboxing the HG Build Fighters Gundam Schwarzritter. So the Schwarzritter here is the latest installment in HG Build Fighters kits from the Amazing Ready manga. Unfortunately, this did not ever appear in the series. Would have been cool to see this mobile suit in action. It's pretty much a variation of the Denial / Cathedral. I don't know if this is going to actually include any parts from the Cathedral kit, or if I'm sure this will obviously have some parts from the Denial. Whether this includes parts from the Cathedral, I'm not sure. We'll have to check the runners. I haven't built either of those kits actually, so I'm actually looking forward to this. Both of them looked like kind of alright, but didn't quite look appealing enough to me to want to check them out. But this one actually looks like it's kind of my favorite looking of the three. You'll have to see how I feel about the kit after I've got it all snapped up and in the review. But in the meantime, anyway, I am looking forward to checking this out. Black and gold, kind of meh. I have a feeling that I'm going to be thinking like the same thing that I thought with the Amazing Strike Freedom Gundam, where I was not really into the colors of that kit, but I really liked the design of it after I had it all snapped up. This one, I have a feeling I'm going to be thinking the same, where like I really like the design, but I can't wait to paint it in different colors. So we'll just have to see. Pretty cool box art here. This is actually one of the better Build Fighters box arts, I think. It's quite a cool artwork style here and pose. Backgrounds something to do with some haunted castle or something. Apparently, I imagine that's probably something from the manga. Masked second G generation's mobile suit. Yep. So this is number 55 in the Build Fighters line. And going around to the side, we can see that this kit has a very huge sword, the Flügelschwert. Yes, more German. Gotta love that. And so yeah, it just has these those wings on the backpack just can turn into separate blades like that, or into a big, huge, mega, ultra, super blade. And it has all the different hand options like that, all from the Denial Gundam. Luckily, it doesn't have all those crazy clear parts though, but you can definitely see some similarities there. So some really cool posing, and for this, I'm not sure how well that it does actually work, but in the promo photos, it looks really good. The red is maybe a nice touch, but I feel like this is kind of another one of those Build Fighters designs that has maybe just one too many colors to it. I think maybe if that red was just white, I think I'd probably be okay with that. But again, I don't know. I got to think about the color scheme for this kit. But here's just a look at the kit, just standing there all painted up. Really love the huge long legs of the Denial Gundam and the small torso. It's really cool look to it. I think it definitely fits that sort of like fighting style of it. A little bit about the Amazing Ready manga there, and then the list price of 2,000 yen for this. So yeah, 2,000 yen is pretty pricey because you can see this box is not all that big, and a lot of this kit I know is going to be copied from previous kits. So 2,000 yen might seem a little bit overpriced for this, but it's just going to kind of come down to if it's a good kit and you're willing to pay that much for it, then that's kind of, I guess, what you have to do. This runner here looks like is probably our new runner, because I'm seeing a lot of new parts on there for sure, including that purple clear part for the visor, which I actually quite like. Stickers here. Sticker sheet doesn't look too bad. There's definitely some big color apps on there, but it doesn't look horrible. Polycaps in a very interesting color, a quite unusual color for polycaps. Some black, some white, some more of that light gray. Some more gold. It's all that molded gold, unfortunately. That usually doesn't look too good, but again, paint I think is going to be the best solution for this kit. But I don't know, a lot of people really like the black and gold color scheme. It's very similar to the recently released real grade Amatsumina. Here we have the box art here, as usual. On the bottom, more about that. The pilot's looking quite interesting. Looks like something out of a Shin Megami Tensei video game or something. But that line art there looking pretty cool. I gotta say, Naoki's doing some pretty cool designs for the Build Fighters series. Just in my personal opinion, I know that's not a universally accepted opinion, but I think so anyway. I like Naoki's designs. Anyway, there's that information there in English, and a little bit about the masked second G pilot. Obviously, he seems to be quite mysterious, so that is that. The build custom, so okay, this is actually apparently based on the Cathedral Gundam more so than the Denial, so that's kind of interesting. Really love the gun of the Cathedral Gundam, for sure, but the rest of it was just not really into that. But here we have just same kind of photos of the kit. It also has these kind of like sticks, which are kind of like baton swords, kind of. I'm not really sure exactly what you would call those, what those weapons are technically called. It has them here listed as Windalk. I'm not really sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but those seem like just kind of useless throwaway weapons, but I think they could be cool if you're like really making this like a kind of martial arts style mobile suit. Then, you know, there's martial arts that use that just kind of like simple sticks like that. Again, not sure exactly what those are called. I'm sure you guys probably know, but there's a color guide here across the bottom, all pretty simple: black, gold, light gray, red, white, pretty much. All right, our parts list is going to reveal a lot of X's, so that means definitely some reused runners. Here you can see the A runner, like half of the A runner is not used. A good portion of the B runner, and then a few parts on the C runner as well. So quite a lot of extra parts we're going to have from this kit, but we'll have to see if any of those are actually useful in any way. That might be nice if we can actually have some different options and things like that. So we're going to start off with the torso first, then the head, arms, and shoulders, arms, then onto the legs, and then the waist. So all pretty standard, step by step there. And then we can see on our color page is talking more about those weapons. I actually kind of personally think, like at first when I first saw those, I thought those were supposed to be grenades. So I think those really kind of look like they're supposed to be grenades, to be honest. But anyway, here we're building up the backpack, and the backpack is also kind of the weapon, so then it's just showing you how to actually use the weapons. Pretty self-explanatory. You do have like a separate piece for when you want to have them connected together. Otherwise, you're just using the same handles from there on the back skirt. So, all right, let's get a look at the runners. All right, so here we have our foil sticker sheet. It's got the normal stuff like the eyes and the head camera, but then we have all of these color app stickers. So white, gray, and black. Going to be a good amount of those. Not terrible, but not really looking all that good either. PC002 for our very recognizable polycap runner here, with the addition of a couple more polycaps added, I guess for the forearms, probably where the wrists plug in a very light gray color though, which is quite unique. But that light gray is meant to match the light gray here on the A runner. This runner is actually from the Build Burning Gundam, so this is just kind of the joints and hands and all of that from the Build Burning. Obviously some parts like this, like for the backpack, I imagine we're probably not going to be using for this, but that's pretty interesting that it's using parts from that kit. I didn't imagine that. Runner B here, a very large and full black runner here, and this runner is very interestingly marked. If you can see here, it's actually marked HG1144 Cathedral / Denial Gundam. So it's actually marked for both of them. I don't know if the original Denial Gundam also included that Cathedral marking on there or not, but that would be kind of interesting if it did, because that would have been quite telling, seeing as how obviously the Denial Gundam came out before we had an announcement of the Cathedral Gundam. Runner C here is sporting that same marking on there, so this is also Cathedral / Denial Gundam, and it's all in that molded gold that everyone loves so much. Then we got runner D here. Now this one, again, is having the same marking, so no new parts yet, but the interesting thing about the D runner is that this is in a different kind of black, because this is in that really super high gloss black like we saw in the real grade Amatsumina. So if you compare this, again, going back to the B runner, you can see there is going to be a little bit of difference. The B runner is just kind of a normal sheen of plastic, so it's like slightly shiny. The D runner is definitely much more high gloss. The E runner here, again, nothing new quite yet, but this is just a few red parts for the chin piece and the couple red parts there in the torso. Runner F, again, still nothing quite new, but this is our white parts for the chest vents and the V-fin. Runner G is still nothing new, and we're back to that same kind of light gray color, as this is some parts for like the frame and joint parts that is different from what were included on that A runner that was from the Build Burning Gundam. And then finally we have all of our new parts here on the J runner. This is J1, and then we also have runner J2, which is a copy of this section here. This is a 4-color runner, all black through here, gold across the top, light gray across the bottom, and then one clear purple piece there for the visor. Again, like I said, really quite like that visor. It's interesting how we went from runner G to J. We obviously skipped a couple letters in the alphabet. I'm guessing those letters that we skipped are runners that were like maybe specific for the Cathedral or the Denial that obviously were not included for this kit. So the runner marking for the new runner here is obviously going to be HG1144 Gundam Schwarzritter. So that is it for the unboxing. So, I mean, it's a fair amount of plastic in there, but 2,000 yen, yeah, I don't know. Bandai just kind of does this sometimes where, I mean, it's a kit that they reuse a couple times. It's very similar to the Gundam Local Type. That one was also seemed strangely expensive for what it was, and it's a design that they are using for a couple different variations. The waterproof Gundam was a P-Bandai version, but then we do have that new variation of the local type Gundam that's going to be coming out soon, as well as the standard release. So kind of very similar to this kit, I suppose, in that way. So the price doesn't really seem to make too much sense, but again, if you're willing to pay that much for it, that's kind of what it's going to come down to. We'll check out how the kit is in the review. Look for that video coming up next. Thank you guys, as always, for watching. Again, thank you to MindFenix Hobby Store for sending me this to share with you guys. If you have questions, comments, leave those down below, and I'll see you guys in the review. Bye-bye.